There we go. So now you should all be able to see the Passport homepage. So I'd like to give you a brief introduction. I'm sure all of you know Passport and have used it. But just to give you a quick introduction, so Passport is our international database, and our reports, our data provides you a complete overview of what's happening in any industry, and we also focus on economies and consumers. So just to briefly introduce how our research is split. Our research is split into 3 groups. So we've got our industries, and our industries research gives you a detailed view of the consumer markets, and it goes from soft drinks to packaged food to retailing. It's separated by our consumer products here, our services, and we also have our supplied side of things here with ingredients and packaging. So we research all relevant distribution channels so you can get a total market picture. And you can start to spot patterns in market sizes and growth rates, and watch how companies are acting, and analyze performance, shifts in routes to market, and see where the opportunities are and where the best future potential lies. And then we also have our economies and consumers data, which is more macroeconomic data. So in our economies research, we give you insight to the global country environments. We provide data and analysis for all of the countries that we research, and our data and commentary covers macroeconomic changes, demographic, industrial and agricultural output, trade patterns, and it really helps you understand the background drivers of markets within populations or the economy of a country. And it helps you analyze the business confidence, the foreign investment flows, the interest or exchange rates. And then our last session is the consumers. So our consumers research helps you understand people in terms of the lifestyle changes, the consumer culture. Again, so we'll have reports and statistics for all the countries that we research, and you can look up the makeup of homes, family units, income comparisons, working and leisure activities, and also any big social trends in that country. And this analysis really helps to support consumer profiling, marketing, products and brand developments, and also to be able to target specific niche within a consumer base. So this is a quick overview. So what I want to do today is to pick an industry and then show you all of the information that we have for that sector, and then show you how it all links to our macroeconomic reports and data in economies and consumers. So I'll just go for packaged food, just because it's an easy one. We can all relate to it. We all buy packaged food every single day. And so here we are in the packaged food homepage. So whenever you click into one of the sectors that we have here, it will take you to the homepage. Every single industry has its own homepage, and it includes all the commentaries, all what we call opinion pieces that are written by our analysts. So we have just over 1,000 analysts in 80 countries doing this research, and they will publish obviously the reports, but to support these reports throughout the year, we have things like videos. We also have what we call here opinion pieces, podcasts. So it really depends on what's happening and the different topics that they want to address. And here at the top, we have different ways of searching for the data. So we have over here, we have our search tree, which is where you can select any subcategory and do a specific search if you're looking for a specific country. We also have here Analysis Finder, which helps you filter through the type of research that you want to access. So if you're looking for a company profile, or if you're looking for a podcast or videocast, you would click here and then select the country that you're looking for. We have 2 ways also of ranking the data. So we can either rank countries, where you would simply select a category within packaged food, and it will give you a ranking in terms of size, growth, per capita. And you can do the same in terms of ranking the categories. So you select a country and it will tell you, for example, that in Brazil, baby food is the largest market. We also have here review top companies. So within any industry, you'll be able to see the top companies that are operating in that market. And when you click here, you will be able to see the data and also the company reports. And we also have our dashboards. I'm not sure if some of you have used it. Personally, it's my favorite part of Passport. So it's a visual tool that enables you to see the global trends. So what's happening in the packaged food industry globally. It's interactive, so I'll just wait for it to load. There we go. So automatically we'll select the largest markets, so that's why USA is selected here. So as you can see, the darker the colors, the bigger the market size. So we can see here USA, we've got countries like France, UK are some of the big markets. And then in lighter blue, we have the countries with the smaller market for packaged food. And whenever we select a country, so let's say we want to zoom into Europe. There we go. So we're selecting Belgium, and we can see here at the bottom that we can see the Belgian market size, per capita expenditure, and also the forecast growth. So we have our analysts provide us with 5 years of forecasts. So what's going to happen from 2016 to 2021? So we can see that it's going to grow by 1.4%. So I'll just zoom out again. And right now we're looking at market size. But if you want to have a look at the forecast growth, see what's going to happen in the future, we've got it here. So luckily we don't have any countries that are in decline. And these would be in red and orange if we had any in packaged food. And again, so it's all interactive. So let's say we select India, which is one of the darkest ones. So India has 8.2% growth in the next 5 years. And what we can do is click here, explore in more detail at the bottom. And here you'll have a tool that kind of goes into a little bit more detail, explaining what's happening exactly in the market. So we've got India here in dark blue compared to Asia Pacific and the rest of the world. It also gives you the top 3 companies that are operating in that market. And we've got it here. So India is the 9th market in terms of packaged food. And this is still interactive. So we can see here, for example, France. If I click on France, it will open up a new page to show me what's happening in France. So it's really to give you a brief overview before you delve into the statistics and the reports. And the thing that I really like about this is that you can export it to PowerPoint. So we'll open up a PowerPoint presentation directly with this on the screen. You can also save it as a PDF, as a picture, or you can print it. And you can do that as well with this bigger picture here. So we've got here for PowerPoint, PDF, picture, or to print it. And right now, so yes, so we've selected packaged food, but we can also go in and select a subcategory of packaged food. So let's say we're interested in confectionery. We can have a look at chocolate confectionery, select go, and see what's happening. So we can see here that countries like Poland and Russia are expected to decline in the next 5 years. And we can go in and explore these in more detail. We can also have a look at what we call scatter plot and bar chart. So right now we are under map view. So if I select bar chart, so this is a ranking of the countries. This is the forecast growth. We can easily switch back to per capita, see the consumer expenditure. So we've got Switzerland here, spend the highest amount on packaged food. And then we also have our scatter plot. So personally, I really like the scatter plot because it gives you an idea of what's happening. So we can see here the largest markets. So on the x-axis, we've got the market size. On the y-axis, we've got the growth. Now you can see here USA, which might be a saturated market. So we might look into, for example, Germany, which is expected to grow by 2.5% in the next 5 years. And we can see that there's still space for it to grow here. Or we can have a look at a country like China, for example, which is expected to grow even more by 4.3%. So it kind of gives you a different way of looking at this data. And what you can do at this point is that you can highlight different regions. So you can have a look, if you're analyzing Western Europe, highlight Western Europe. We've got here Western Europe in blue. And you can do the same with the bar chart. So I'll just come back here and I'll just select, we'll go back to packaged food and I'll show you how from the dashboard you can access all the reports and the statistics. So we've got next to market size, next to per capita, next to per growth, we've got this little icon here. And if you hover over it, you will see that it says statistics. So if I click here, it will take me to the statistics for, so I was on China, so that's why it's opened up the China statistics for market size, for packaged food. So we can see here it gives us packaged food and all of the subcategories that are within packaged food. And we can also rank these. So just, there we go. So we can see in China, the biggest sector within packaged food is dairy, followed by rice, pasta, and noodles. And we've got this little tool here on the left, which enables you to play around with the statistics. So, so right now we've got it in the local currency. We can also come here and change it. So let's say we want it in euro. We've got fixed exchange rate and year-on-year exchange rates. We can also come here and have unit multipliers. So right now we've got it in millions of euros, but we can have it in billion or thousands. We can play around with the growth if we want to see the year-on-year growth, period growth, and also have it, oh, sorry, if we want per capita or per thousands households, etc. Right here is where you can add different years. So if you're analyzing it, so automatically we'll select what we call historical, which is the current year and 4 years behind. So it gives you a 5-year total. Forecast is from 2016 to 2021. And you can also select them individually depending on your research and click through and add the years that you want to research. You can also come here and add other industries. So let's say you want to compare packaged food with fresh food. You would simply come here and select fresh food and add the categories that are interesting to you. And you can do the same with countries. So let's say I want to compare China with let's say Belgium, France, and Germany, and see how the different markets compare. There you go. So we've got China here at the top, we've got Belgium, France, and Germany. So I've already selected it to be in euros, so that's why it's all in euros. And we also have a cool tool here that enables you to compare the countries directly. So right now we've got packaged food here, and we have to scroll all the way down for Belgium. So if we click here under change groupings, it will enable us to see by category rather than by country. Again, just making it easy to process this data and to know what's happening there. We also have, so as you've probably seen here, all these little icons. So this is just to facilitate the research to be able to swap between all the different data that we have. So right now we're under market size. We can easily click the different ones to go to company shares, brand shares, distribution, and we also have a few such as analysis by flavor. We also have our pricing and products by ingredient. So I'll just show you a few. So if we select the company shares in China for packaged food, there you go. So it will come up as a percentage breakdown. So we've got here Inner Mongolia Yili Industrial Group is the biggest, has the biggest market share in the packaged food industry in China. So now if we just go back, I will show you we also have the brand share data. So let's select a country like Belgium. There we go. So we've got the name of the brand, so Herta, and the company to which it belongs to, and then we've got its market share. And you can scroll down and have a look all the different brands and companies that are operating in that market. Then we also have our distribution, which I personally find very interesting. So this gives you an idea of how consumers purchase these products. So we've got here store-based retailing, which accounts for 94.8%, which you would expect for an industry like packaged food. And you can see here, so it goes from grocery retailers, all the different types of grocery retailers, and then we have non-grocery specialists, such as health and beauty specialist retailers, mixed retailers, and then we have non-store retailing, which has grown from 3.7 to 5.2 in the last 5 years, and we can see that it's mainly due to internet retailing. So it just gives you an idea of how these consumers are getting to these products and how they're purchasing them. And then we also have our pricing data, which, so let's just select, so let's select China, for example. So here we're not going to cover all the different distribution channels for all the products that are in that industry. It's really to give the person researching an idea of how much these products are sold in that country. So I've chosen China because personally I don't know, how much packaged food is in China. I've never been to China. And it's really to give you an idea, let's say if you're launching a product in China, to know how much these products are priced at. So we've got, for example, under dried baby food, we've got Baby Rich that belongs to this company, which were found by internet retailing. This is the pack size, and this is how much it was sold for. And you can scroll through and have a look at, for example, prepared baby food, or scroll through again other baby food, standard milk formula, and have all of the different, so it's quite a long table, which gives you, so for example, here we've got through the different outlets. So we've got supermarket, internet retailing, hypermarket, independent small grocers, etc. I'm just going to go back to our, and please don't hesitate to ask any questions throughout this presentation, should you have any. So back to our table of statistics for market size. We have different tools here at the top. This is where you can download the data. So you can download it via Excel or via PDF. You can also print it. And then another part I really like is that, so let me just put this down, there we go. So here, so I'm under Vlerick account. So you can see here I've got Cecilia Martinez at Vlerick Business School. So this is the database that you have access to. And you have the possibility to create an account. So when you create an account, it should be here. So instead of manage profile and save content, it should say register. And so when you register, you're then able to save your statistics, reports, research, which enables you to access them later and saves you time in terms of redoing those research, especially if they're complicated research with different industries, different countries. So right now, for example, you can type any title, you can type a description should you want to, and you also have the option to share with other users at Vlerick. So for example, if you are a professor and you want your students to have access to this, you can easily put share to all, and then when they go to their saved content, so I'll just open it in a new page, it would appear here. So currently, obviously, this is a fake account that I have because I'm not actually at Vlerick, but it will be here under shared content, and your personal content that you've saved will be here under my content. And you can also create a link that you're able to share via the intranet, via email. So anyone that would have access to Passport can access this specific table through this link. Okay, so these are all the nice tools that you can play around with. And now what I want to show you is that from this data, you're able to go directly to the report. So we've got here our first icon is related analysis, and this will take you directly to the reports of that country. So let's say we select packaged food in China. So, and we also have these reports for baby food in China, baked goods in China. So all of the industries and all of their subcategories have a specific report. There we go. So packaged food in China, we have, all of our reports have the same format. So we have executive summary, key trends and developments, territory, key trends and developments, and these are for our bigger countries, such as China, India, Russia, just because they are just very large in size and the regions are very different one to another. And then in packaged food, we also have the food service, which is all that has to do with restoration. So from here again, so we can see, have a brief overview of what's happening in the packaged food industry. So packaged food registers modest but slightly higher growth in 2016. So we've got things like the Chinese dietary guideline reshapes the consumer habits, and you can scroll through, see what's happening, and then under key trends and development, so we've got the key trend here. So for example, the one that was mentioned above, the Chinese dietary guidelines, and how our analysts think that this is going to impact the market. And so you can scroll through and really have a deep understanding of what's happening. Here again, so we've got by regions, and at the bottom of any report, you will have access to the statistics. So these are the statistics that we already looked at, but it just means that should you download this report, you will have all of it in one place. Oh, sorry. And this again, so you can download this via PDF, you can print it, save it, create a link, and we also have the ability to translate the reports. So for anyone who has a second language and wants the report to be translated, they can easily do that here. So I would go through the full report, but obviously I understand that all of you have different research needs and this might not be the one you're looking for now. So I just wanted to give you really a brief overview of the kind of reports that you have access to. Under here, so again, with our tool on the left, we're able to see other industry reports that are related to this. And I really like this because it just means that it pushes you to read around the topic. So for students, for example, they don't just read this report and think, that's it. They're pushed to read around, see what's happening with the other categories. Also, we have here, so company profiles. So these are local company profiles. So we have here, so it always says China in bracket, which means it's a local company. Related articles. And then we also have at the bottom more related items. So these will take you through to our economies and consumers data that is found here. So each of these categories has its own report. I'll just go through it. So for example, we select business dynamics in China. There we go. So all of our economies and consumers report are going to have a SWOT analysis. And here, so we're going to focus on things like regulatory environment, and we have also the ease of doing business in China, which is ranked out of 189 countries. And here we're going to look at the ease of starting a business, to deal with construction permits, getting electricity, registering property. So really all the different components that you would need to be able to set up a business somewhere. We also have things like operating risks. So for example, here, corruption prevention initiatives, access to finance. So how easy is it to access finance, the interest rates in China. Again, we have some statistics here with some graphs. We also have things like transport and infrastructure, communication and innovation, education and skills, so really understand the skill set of that country. Should you set up a business there? Employment and labor costs, of course, are very important too. So this is our business dynamic report. We also have our consumer lifestyles report. So this is really to come and understand the consumers, their different lifestyles, the big trends that are happening. So we have our infographic here that gives you a brief overview of what's happening. We have things like urbanization, old age dependency ratio, and the report always starts with the top 5 consumer trends. So we can see here that consumer confidence is slipping. They continue to drive explosive growth in online shopping. Aging population, and then we will come and focus on consumer segmentation. So let's say you want to target kids, or you're looking to target teenagers, and they will give you the big trends that are happening there. Let me just scroll through. And then we also have a lot of information on household and ownership. So how big are the household? Who owns it? Is it couples? Is it families? We also have a lot of information on money and saving. So I'll just scroll through all the way up here, and I'll just go through here. I think it will be easier. Eating and drinking. So for example, is there a specific day that people choose to go out to the restaurant, or is there a day where people do a big shop? So for example, in the UK, we have what we call the Sunday roast, which is a big family dinner on Sundays. Grooming and fashion, health and wellness, shopping habits, leisure and recreation, and getting around. So a little bit more on transport as well. So we've looked at business dynamics. Then we also have our digital consumer reports. Sorry, if you excuse me. Oh. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, fantastic. I'm really sorry about this. I didn't realize that my computer was out of battery. So let me just quickly go back to where we were before. So we were in China, and I'm just going to quickly go back to the report. So we were under digital consumer. So yes, so digital consumer is one of our brand new sectors that we've launched. So obviously with the growth of internet and how it's impacting us as consumers, so we've decided to have a new category which falls under consumers, which is the first one here, called digital consumer. So this is where we focus on that, and we have a look at the different drivers for the different countries. For example, we've got here smartphone sales in terms of volume and growth. And then we've got things like where our analysts think that there's a specific sector that it's impacting it. So for example, we've got here industry spotlight, and it focuses here on consumer food service. And then we have digital commerce evolution, where we analyze the evolution of that country. And then more specifically, digital payments. And we've got case studies as well to represent that. So we've gone through consumer lifestyles, business dynamics. We also have our country profile. This is a quick introduction to the country, where it tells you the key points about the economy, the facts. So we've got things like area, currency, location, capital, the government, and it also summarizes very briefly all the other reports that we have. So if you want a quick, brief overview of China, this is where you'd come to. So here we have business environment, for example, which we already saw the report for. So quick summary, we've got things like energy, society, income and expenditure, which I will show you in a second as well. So let's have a look at income and expenditure. So here we're really going to understand what's the disposable income by per capita, what's the age group which has the highest income. Again, we have our SWOT analysis, the analysis in terms of gross income by age. So we can see here that individuals aged 45 to 49 are the largest groups amongst top earners. Again, we've got a more visual representation of this data. And of course, we have all of the raw data that's behind this. I will show you and show you how to access that as well. Social class composition, household income distribution, and then we also have consumer expenditure by category, and also by region, by income, and by household. So it really breaks it down and gives you a bit of analysis behind those numbers. And so our last report within economies is our economy, finance and trade. And as the title says, so we focus on the economy, the finance and the trade of those different countries. So again, we've got our SWOT analysis to give us a brief overview. It gives us an idea of the economic landscape of China, monetary indicators, imports, so what's the top import origins of China, what these commodities are, and then the same for exports. So we can see the top export destination for China is the USA, and we can see here that China exported 18.1% of its total goods to the USA. And then investments as well, to give us an idea of FDI flows, portfolio investments, government finance. And again, we've got regional comparison. So we've got China versus Asia Pacific and other selected economies as well. So I think now I've showed you all the the reports that we have within economies and consumers. So as you saw, so we went through each of them in terms of reports, and I also showed you so I gave you an example with packaged food, and all of the different sectors have the same functionality. So when you come to its homepage, it will look the same. One last thing I want to show you is if you want to do a specific search. So the way I took you through is quite a long way to show you all of the different things that you can do. But should you have a specific search, so let's say you are researching the alcoholic drink sector, and you want to have a look at all of the subcategories. You would then go up, select next, and here come to select the countries that you're interested in. So you can either type them here. So let's say I want to have a look at Belgium, so I can type it here and select Belgium. Or what I can do is open up these. So for example, if I select Asia Pacific, select China, and then come to Western Europe and select a few more as well. There we go. And here we have our results page. So again, you can save this search. So right now this is quite a simple search, but you might have a complicated search that you might want to save and redo at a later date. And our results are sorted, as you can see here. So the statistics will always be on the left-hand side. So you've got the same statistics that we were looking at. So market size, company shares, brand shares, and distribution. And also we have all of the exports, imports, all the trade statistics under here. And then on the left-hand side is all our analysis. So this is our reports, but you can also filter through, and let's say you want to actually have a look at just wine, or if you want to have a look at just a specific geography, or filter through the analysis as well. Yeah, and then again, so if you click, you go back to the same reports that we were looking at earlier. And just to come back, I'm also going to show you under here. So once you do your search, you can find all of the different categories within economies and consumers. And here, so for example, in business dynamics, we're going to have all of those different sections that were mentioned in the reports. So for example, we've got ease of doing business here. And it's just as easy as clicking through, selecting the countries, and you'll have your statistics. Again, with digital consumer here, so we can have a look into more detail at the digital purchases that are made, the access to internet, so percentage of population using the internet, possession of digital devices. And whenever there's a little plus, it just means that there's more subcategories under. And this little I here that you can see on the right-hand side gives you the definition of that category. So how Euromonitor International defines this category. So then again, economy, finance and trade, we've got, for example, our foreign trade, and this is where you can have a look at the exports, and you can do that either exports by destination and select your country, or you can also do exports by commodity. And so you want to know how much animal product is exported, and if you're looking at live animals or different products, and how much of these are exported to another country. Household again, so it's really to understand the makeup of the different households in any country. Income and expenditure, we're able here again to have a look at how much consumers are spending on a specific category. And also understand, the gross income, income by age, and our industrial section, which I haven't covered much, is our B2B analysis. So this is where we analyze the industrial makeup of a country, and we analyze the entire economy, going from primary materials to energy to machinery to business services. And again, you have the reports, you have the statistics. And then we also have our data on population, which is quite generic data on total population, population density, age of population, etc. And one last thing before we finish that I want to show you. So whenever you're on Passport, you always have this help functionality here on the top right hand side. So when you click here, you get to help guides and videos. So you've got videos on getting started, which is an introductory video. You also have videos on specific parts of Passport, whether you're looking at the dashboard, whether you're looking at working with statistics. You also have here Passport User Guide, which is a PDF format of instructions of how to use Passport. We also have our FAQ. And these, so let's say we were looking at packaged food, and we have all of the different FAQs for that specific industry. So what do we mean by retail volume? And you have that for all of the categories. We also have our definitions, which I showed you earlier, but you can access them through here. So what we mean by beer, cider, perry, etc. We also have our update schedule. So this is where you'll see when the last data update was made for an industry and when the next one is, and what data will be available in the next update. About Passport, it just gives you a little bit more information about Passport. And then we have our methodology as well. So for those who want to understand really how we get this data, so we have it here. And should you want any more information, of course, please don't hesitate to contact me. And then we have calculation variables. So what numbers we used behind these data. And then our last one is contact us. So if you have any question about how to access the database, or if you're struggling to find any information, you can quickly put, so it automatically puts your address. So this is my address. So usually this would be empty. You'd put your email, subject, feedback, and this will come directly to me. And I'll be able to help you with anything. I think this is it for me. Do you have any questions? No? Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time today. This will be recorded and will be free for you to access it and at any other time. Thank you very much for your, I can see there's a question. No, I think we're good. Well, thank you so much for your time today, and I hope you enjoyed the webinar.